everybody, welcome to AJS News. This is the first of two videos we got for you today.
But first, a word from our sponsors, which this week is Extra Wallets. You can save up to 50% off. That's the holiday sale. Grab it now. You could still get one in time for your friends and family. Thanks to Extra for always supporting the show. We work together with them on specific designs. You can check it out in the links down below. So, Alex, and the news obviously is a day late. Sorry about that. We went to a gaming event. Am I allowed to say what it was? It was for Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. And this is sort of like their last preview event. All three of us got to play.
Oh, we had so much fun with it.
Yeah, we had a ton of fun. And we all did something different, which kind of wildly different. And
as you could expect.
I don't want to spoil exactly how we all approach the same quests, but that bodes well for the game. So thank you to the team at Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 for giving us that opportunity to check it out in the final preview before it comes out in February, which they moved up the release date. That's
news story for later.
Story for later. So okay, so that's the updates. There is tons of content out right now. We're falling behind. It's holidays, so we got family in and all sorts of stuff. But we want to cover it all. Secret Levels out. Kraven the Hunter's coming this week. Lord of the Rings, the new movie, anime's coming. We got a Dune Prophecy review on the way. Star Wars, Skeleton Crew couldn't even hit top 10, but we're still going to, update you on that episode tomorrow, and just lots and lots of stuff coming, as well as Indiana Jones being out yesterday. And of course, I kind of want to continue to play Marvel Rivals. Alex is playing Path of Exile 2. Right now is a great time. There's just so much content. So please be patient as we work our way all through it during the holidays. So, Alex, what the hell else? Oh, and there's the Game Awards this week on Thursday, which Alex loves. All right, and let's go. Alex, what the hell has been going on in gaming news?
You guys know how you get a little weird about Henry Cavill?
It's not weird.
It's Joe that's weird about him. I just want to hang out with the dude, have a beer.
So do I.
Okay.
Strictly platonic.
Yeah, all right. Well, it is official. Games Workshop and Amazon Studios have finally finalized their deal for the TV show, because we were wondering if the project was going to happen. There were rumors, not great rumors, people on Twitter, it's not happening now. I promise, bro. Like, my cousin's brother is Mr. Amazon, and he said that the Warhammer is
fucking shut up.
But they've signed off on it. Henry Cavill did an announcement today about it. He went to go buy his old local game store, which you support your local game store. Yeah. Don't buy shit online.
Did he?
And so the show is happening, and we don't know what it is.
Exactly. I don't know, but I'm kind of worried about it, because the universe looks amazing. The detail on it, they're gonna have to spend a lot of money, and the way they're spending money on Lord of the Rings is not good, and it doesn't feel like Lord of the Rings. It doesn't feel massive. It looks tiny.
Yeah.
So it just doesn't feel right. And they have the money for it, but not the eye.
J.D. Payne and whatever the other guy, Patrick something, those are bad showrunners for Lord of the Rings. First-time showrunners, I don't know what they're doing. I think that putting Cavill in a position of authority on this is a good move. And this is exactly 2 years after Amazon MGM acquired the rights to 40k, and then for Henry Cavill to star in and executive produce it. Well, now, whether he's doing those two things, we'll see what position he ends up actually being in. But I put out a statement. My incredible team and I, alongside the brilliant minds at Games Workshop, have been working away in concept rooms, breaking down approaches to the enormity and magnificence of the Warhammer world, he wrote. Together, we've been sifting through the plethora of incredible characters. Man, I like the way this guy's like.
Him.
Plethora of incredible characters, and poring over just him. Together, he said, my incredible team. I guarantee you he has a team, Joe. It's not just him. Together, we have been sifting through the plethora of incredible characters and poring over old tomes and texts. Our combined efforts have led us to a fantastic place to start our universe, which has been agreed upon by those up on high at both Amazon and Games Workshop. So they have found an entry point into it. And my only hope is that they start with something, I know it sucks, small, no excessive, CGI, no Space Marines yet. I think you should start Imperial Guard. I hope that he's chose Eisenhorn. That's what I think me and Alex think would be most successful. However, I've said this before, I've gone on record. I do think whatever comes out, it's not going to be, what we wanted. The difficulty curve with 40K is so fucking high. And while Cavil is an incredible talent, he has not cut his teeth yet on show running and executive producing. At least I don't know of any other projects he's done that with. So he's an incredible fan that's been giving this opportunity. So hopefully he is just immersing himself in the world, reading through all the books, which it sounds like he is. So, but I would like for Rings of Power to get canceled. And I would like for all that money that was going into that to now be poured into this.
Not gonna happen.
It needs to be grim. It needs to be dark. It needs to be inappropriate. It needs to be fascist. It needs to be evil. It needs to be, hey, nobody in the universe are good guys. And does Amazon have the balls to do that? You know? And I don't know. As he says, those up on high at both Amazon and Games Workshop. Games Workshop, they're game for it. It's Amazon who I feel could be the restricting factor at being like, all right, well, you can't depict the the Sisters of Battle as wild zealots. Instead, depict them as tortured souls who are serving the Emperor and really don't want, something like that would completely destroy not only the credibility of Cavil, but also the people at Games Workshop. This could potentially blow up in their face. So it has to be 100% faithful.
Well, even if it's 100% faithful, you're going to piss off people. You're talking about an established universe that people are mega and they're fanatical about. I mean, true fanatics about. And if you depict even something as simple, like more grounded as Eisenhorn, in a way where we're always imagining things in different ways, and we have this. It's kind of set in stone what this guy looks like, and so it's an uphill battle because it's like Star Wars fans. It's like, oh, this is not how I view. You set up the Force this way for how many years? And he's like, well, the Force is now something else.
I think initially, I would like to believe I'm wrong that people will be a little easier on it since it's the first project, whereas in Star Wars we've had 27 projects and we're getting tired. I think they're a little bit easier on it, but I personally would love to have orcs involved. I would love the love story between Ghazghul Thraka and Yorick, the Imperial Guard. He respects the general so much, and when the general ended up getting killed by Angron and the demons, like the fucking orcs just go on a rampage, and it's like, how dare you kill my arch rival? And he right now, Ghazghul Thraka, is just attacking the fuck out of the forces of chaos just to get back after what he did. And I just like that storyline. But orcs, incredibly hard to get right on screen.
We're not probably doing right. Like there's a lot of.
I just feel like Amazon is going to make all these factions just misunderstood.
There's just so much potential, and they have to ride out. Amazon has to ride it out. And even Games Workshop. Games Workshop right now are being sheltered because it's niche of a niche of a niche. But once this goes mainstream, then you're going to have pockets and groups of people that want to create articles and capitalize and create controversy and say, this doesn't align with my worldview of how your worldview should be, and stuff like that. And so the big trick is staying true to the source material and ignoring all of those who are saying, well, why does everybody have to be a bad guy? Hey, this looks slightly fascist and this and that.
Slightly. Well, so that's
totally fascist.
Well, that's the problem, is that people have different world. Even people who are immersed in you're like, hey,
what are you teaching to children and that kind
your
of
emperor is not a real god, and she's just a skeleton in a chair, and you sacrifice all these people, and he can't protect nor
heresy.
Well, see, it's like,
how
the
dare
Inquisition
you?
Actually, kind of sucks.
That is not true.
Theo-fascism isn't fun.
Execute him.
Yeah, and so it's like, but then other people are like, orcs are cool, or lore. It's like I like, they like this chaos faction, they like this and that. It's the role play is what makes it fun, but it's harder when it's on the screen.
It has to be a horror. It has to be a horror film. Especially if you're gonna do Slanesh and Korn and those kinds of things. It has to be horror.
I don't think they touched Slanesh at all.
Yeah. Initially, no. Like I said, Eisenhorn, very simple. Yeah. Starting off, with Imperial Guard uniforms, they could execute that and pull that off. But the Space Marines, they have to be bulky as fuck. Honestly, I can talk about this for 3 fucking hours. So this is a huge confirmation. This is huge news. This is happening. And whatever we get from it, be it shitty, be it a cancelization before it even comes out, be it a great show, we're going to be in this together, and I'm going to be talking about this quite a bit.
Actually, Slanesh were in Eisenhorn. They're the Emperor's Children are in Eisenhorn.
Yes. And the Emperor's Children is an army that's coming soon for 40k. So maybe that timing lines up.
It's a good trilogy. If you're looking for a way to get into the 40k lore, I always tell everyone that either Gaunt's Ghost or Eisenhorn trilogy is like the way to go. Those books are great. So
if you love orcs, Gazgul Thraka.
All right, let's talk about video games now. And there was a game that also came out that we didn't mention earlier, Delta Force. We played it a little bit. Remember, Delta Force is a game that is officially run by Tencent, but it was developed by a company that is known for the greediest mobile game developer of all time. And it's not Tencent. It's the one that makes Honor of Kings. That they made billions and billions of dollars. Yeah. So Delta Force came out, and the new monetization came out with it. So we're going to talk about the monetization.
It is a free-to-play game, which had us nervous from the beginning, but we're like, maybe this will be good free-to-play.
If you can even play, because right now they're not letting people that have certain hardware. USB drives are a problem if you have one of those in your computer. If you have a capture card, sometimes if you like to stream or have additional cameras, you can't play at all. It just locks you into playing it. So they're having some launch problems, but the monetization is also kind of bad. So there are 3 battle passes. There's a battle pass for the battlefield mode, one for the extraction mode, and one that combines both. Of course, there's a store with $70 skin bundles.
$70?
For skin bundle.
Okay.
A
bundle.
Yeah, at least 4 skins, and I know how much you like that.
Oh, God.
So there's also gotcha skins where you can buy $1 keys that have a 0.30 chance of actually getting the thing that you're after. So hundreds of dollars to try to get all of those other things. The market where you can buy and sell skins to other players for premium currency. Though the sellers are paid out in Delta bucks that can only be spent to buy more skins in the game. Mm-hmm.
Some of it's going to be like
XP shortcuts.
99, so you have to get the other.
Mm-hmm. And then there's Delta Coin. So as far as currencies, Delta Coins, there's alloys, there's Delta Bucks, Mantle Bricks, Quantum Keys, and then that's when I stopped looking. But it's kind of crazy. And, I mean, if you look at the people who made this game, and you're like, okay,
it makes sense. It makes sense with all those different types of currencies.
But if you were wondering, the reason that we haven't played, we tried to stream it, and they just won't let Joe play. Because if you have cameras plugged in,
they recently fixed it. So,
they did.
The Ace hardware, the anti-cheat that a lot of these Chinese games use, Arena Breakout was one that I couldn't play, and this one. So I had to email the actual marketing people, and then they forwarded the email to the devs to make an exception. So at one point, certain keyboards, lighting effects wouldn't work for Arena Breakout. They fixed that. My particular issue was the Magwell HDMI card, where we all have 3 webcams. Yeah. They're not webcams. They're legit DSLRs, and they all plug in via HDMIs into the computer. Well, I guess the anti-cheat was like, why do you have that kind of graphics card? I don't get it. I don't understand it. No, you cannot have it. And so that's why I wasn't able to boot up. But they said they fixed it, so I should be able to jump into the game now, which is weird because in the beta it didn't have that restriction. So I guess they kind of ramped up the anti-cheat at release, but now they need to, make exceptions for certain bits. And we can go in and check it. But it is unfortunate to hear about this monetization model. It always makes me nervous, when something goes completely free to play and how expensive and how shitty progression is. We already have seen progression being kind of shitty in Marvel Rivals not really getting a lot of post-match XP towards your stuff. You have to do the dailies, you have to do the challenges and things like that. That's going to be the shitty part.
Yeah, they know that it's shitty because they're selling you XP shortcuts and Delta Force. So it's like you know that
if there's shortcuts to getting XP, yeah,
that's a great business model. Create a problem, sell the problem.
It's a solution. I mean, exactly. I mean, again, we kind of knew this was coming based on like who was making it, because these companies make dirty, filthy, disgusting money, like some of the most that any mobile game has ever made.
Yeah.
And we were just hoping that maybe this would be one of those things where it was like a really solid game outside of that, but there were some problems. So.
Yeah, I'm jumping back to Eisenhorn and the 40K with Henry Cavill for just a second. So the Eisenhorn, just so that people's clear, that trilogy, it dealt mostly with the demons and chaos, forces of chaos. So that could be that horror. Another entry is obviously Imperial Guard versus Tyranids, because, I don't know, Aliens is hot right now, with Alien Romulus.
It costs a lot of money for Tyranids.
Yeah, and I would love it if they would do a mixture of practical effects with CGI. You have to have CGI with how fast they move. And so that's the second method that they can approach. Or you can go Space Marines, but I don't think they're doing Space Marines, so I'm just going to throw that one out completely. And then there's what I would want, which I know they're not going to do, and that's Gazgul Thrak, a prophet of the Wog, which is basically orcs. And from the orcs' perspective, that's not happening. But it's a fun book that you should read. But maybe they could go from the human perspective on fighting orcs. But it's like there's so many great entry points. Which one do you think would be most successful?
Serious.
And
Horror.
if you're going serious, then yeah, horror. It would be Imperium versus Chaos, and you start there, and then you can touch on the Xenos and have little Easter eggs like on a monitor, of people fighting orcs or something like that. And if it's successful, they can go into future seasons. So I'm almost dead certain that that's what it's going to be, Eisenhorn, or at least Imperium versus Chaos, people being because there's so much storytelling potential there when you have fucking traitors amongst your midst that are working with the dark powers, and then they reveal themselves as traitors and stuff. So that could be,
I mean, in some way they would view you being a traitor to mankind by supporting the false god emperor, because he's not a god, and he said
you're chaos. So
he's not. He himself said he is not a god.
That's true. And that's what makes it so, there's multi-layers. There's so much interesting. The Emperor hated being worshipped. In fact, when he was being worshipped too much, he said, "Stop it!" And it's like a whole fucking legion of Space Marines knelt, because of the power in his voice and that kind of shit. But yet, upon his death, or rather demise, or sitting in the chair and creating essentially these astronomicon that you can transport and warp through all of these places using the Emperor, you can't do anything about it. And so now you have the Sisters of Battle, who are fucking fanatical, religious, crazy women, that believe in the Emperor, and Black Templars, and a bunch of Space Marine chaps. Shut up. Moving on. Otherwise, we'll just take it over.
All right, Apple is facing a UK class action suit. It was actually just approved by the Competition Appeal Tribunal for the suit to go through. Apple's been trying to stop it because they could face £785 million to 13,000 different developers. The UK has said, look, this whole 30% thing, this walled garden approach that you have where you set everything up and then you force everyone to use this system and only your system is anti-competition, and we told you couldn't do it from the start. And now that we know that you've been doing it, we're going to punish you the way that we see fit. So they're letting this go through. Most of the time, these don't work out. But if it's going to work out, it's going to be in a place like the UK. It's going to be a place like the EU, where they've kind of slapped Apple down a few times in the past. So this is, if you're not familiar, Apple and Google and anyone who has these environments, if you want to sell an app on that on their store, they're going to take a massive chunk, up to 30%, not just for the install, but for everything that constantly goes through. You couldn't use any other payment processing within there. And now they're saying you can't do that. Like, you absolutely can't just force people to do it. It is an absurd amount. And if you're curious, Apple makes more money on video games than I think any video game company because they don't even make video games. They just make 30% on every single one that comes through. So it's like
they have that platform.
they make dirty, filthy money for a reason. So this lawsuit is potentially big, and I'll let you know when it goes through.
The Eisenhorn trilogy is not a trilogy. There's 4 books. Okay, now I'll shut up.
What was the 4th book called?
The first book is Xenos. That's one that everybody likes and is pretty good. Then there's Malleus, and Hereticus is the 3rd, and the 4th is The Magos.
The Magos is like 30 pages in the back of the 3rd book, though.
No, it's a lot bigger than 30 pages here. It's a full-length Eisenhorn. It's a brand new full-length Eisenhorn novel.
New?
No, this whenever they wrote this branding here, at some point it was new. But Inquisitor Gregor Eisenhorn has spent his life stalking the darkest and most dangerous limits of the Imperium in pursuit of heresy and chaos. But how long can a man walk that path without succumbing to the lure of the warp? Is Eisenhorn still a champion of the throne, or has he been seduced by the very evil that he has hunted all this time?
Yeah, it's a collection of short stories.
The Magos is a collection of short stories?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was not familiar with it. So you're still saying it's a trilogy with a 4th being a collection of short stories of his history. Yeah. It's, bro, this is 699 pages. I think it's a full-length novel. It says it's a full-length novel. It's almost 700 pages. If it's a collection of short stories, I mean, that could still be possible throughout, his entire life and what he went through. But this fool, doesn't that look like that could be Henry Cavill? If you chose one person to be Henry Cavill, I think that could be Henry right there as Eisenhorn. He's gonna have to be gruffed up, dirty, just shit thrown on his face.
He's not.
He's a little too pretty boy.
He's not always filthy, but I mean, yeah.
He's got to have the gruff, the 5 o'clock shadow. Anyway, so sorry. I'm very excited, as you can tell, and slowly I'm getting more and more and more and more excited. So you're going to see a lot more content from me being on that.
Let me break down your excitement. Amazon.
It's Amazon.
Yeah, but Amazon has done some good things in the past. You had the Boys, Invincible. Those are incredibly faithful to the source material with Invincible, and the Boys actually makes the source material better. However, you have the original creators involved in those, so that helps that.
Those worlds are
Jesus Christ, let me fucking have something.
Yeah, I'm just saying that it's I'm getting more and more worried.
And because all I remember is our fucking notification on Twitch. Woo! And I got so excited about him returning as Superman, and then they fucking took it away. A month or two later. So who knows? Yes, they have greenlit the project, but now if they can't make it work practically, then the thing could still get canceled.
It's gonna be hard.
We're gonna see.
Yep.
It's a tough universe to show up.
I think it's the highest difficulty ever. And honestly, there's one thing that's a little harder. It's the last 3 books in the Dune series from Frank Herbert is even harder to do.
They're just not
and
worth
also,
showing off.
How dare you, sir? You don't love Dune if you don't love the worm god emperor Leto II.
Peace monster.
Do it, you cowards! Fucking do it. And by the way, it's an opportunity for me to say I think Dune Messiah is going to be a complete failure. I think mass audiences are going to hate the film. It's going to be a Joker 2 situation. What was that? Folie à deux or something like that. That's essentially what's about to happen with Messiah. And I find it fucking fascinating.
Is it just Messiah, or are you going to put in some other stuff?
That's what he's saying. It's just Messiah.
Oh, no.
And you have to at least try to put in children of Dune. And if you do that, then I get what I want. Teases at Leto II. Not teases. You get Leto II. Just in his early form. Anyways, sorry again. Go ahead.
All right. People keep asking, hey, isn't TikTok getting banned in the United States? Yes, TikTok is getting banned in the United States as of January 19th.
What? Impossible. There's too many kids that love the app that would have that tell their parents no.
Yeah. So the current ruling is they've got until January 19th for ByteDance to divest from TikTok. It's a Chinese-based company. People are worried about a foreign power having control over the media that our children see and don't see, and specifically steer them towards one thing or another for misinformation. That was the fear. I'm not saying that is what's happening. That is what the thing was. Now, ByteDance has reached out to the Supreme Court to review, to delay this divestment, and so they're just trying to do everything they can. They filed for it this week. To say, it's like, look, Supreme Court, take a look at this. We're not doing anything naughty. We promise we're not doing anything naughty. Let us continue on. But people they're like, hey, is TikTok ban still happening? Technically, they've got till the 19th, or there will be something. And now, of course, with the election and all these other things, lots can change. Just giving you guys an update. The plan is still for they need to divest or they get banned.
In my opinion, the risk is there, and it makes sense. We do know social media does affect people. We do know it does influence opinions, and the spread of information and the spread of misinformation does lead people on certain paths.
And it's happened for hundreds of years.
Years.
People who own all of the radio stations, people who own all of the newspapers. I mean, there has been people that have been doing that for as long as people have been sharing information.
Yeah, so I guess America's like, hey, yeah, so as long as we're doing it, we're good.
Yes.
But as soon as another country has the little finger on the
Hey,
button, they say, we don't have a finger on the button. We don't have a finger on the button. Yeah, but you have the potential to have the finger on the button. So we're
just sell it to us. Everything's fine.
Yeah, or no, sell it to someone who promises.
Exactly.
That just hands all the profit
like
over.
Fucking Facebook's the same thing. Fucking X is the same thing.
Yeah,
everywhere.
It's hilarious to me that what a patch. It's like a big hoopla over it, and all they have to do is say, yeah, we will protect it, and we'll sold it to this, and then that company, months afterwards, after all the scrutiny has died down, they can go right back to doing whatever the fuck they want and put the finger right back on.
Yeah,
that's just the way it works here.
If you're familiar with the way that some of these Chinese manufacturing companies work, they do something super illegal like steal the files that we made for a board game,
property,
and then they make all of the thing, and the Chinese government goes, don't do that again. And you're like, you're right. I'm going to get rid of my XYZ corporation, but my ABC corporation that I'm now going to start is going to do the same.
Like, no, that wasn't us.
It wasn't me. It's like, but you're in the same building. You have all the same machinery and all the same people. Yeah, but that was a different guy. I sold it to Greg, and then Greg sells it to Bill.
That's why I still don't know why that guy was it the day before, made a different company, same name.
And who are you going to sue? You can't sue me. I just bought it from Greg. I don't know where Greg's at.
I'm not liable for any Greg's things.
Gotta wash hands with that.
So that's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah. Okay. Did you want to go?
I don't think. Yeah, I'm going to jump back to it. Another potential thing is the Tau. But see, the Tau is for the greater good. I don't think anyone would watch the Tau.
GW went back and retconned everything. They're like, no, they're not the good guys, and they're
they do a little bit of that. It's and I think that's good for the universe to do a little here and there. Change things and give them more depth and breadth. I think that the Tau are just boring. They have their own video game. It's Fire Warrior, and you can get it. It's not a very good first-person shooter, but it's there. If they want to please the, I don't know, what would you call them, paragons of culture. You would want a good guy faction.
You're watching the wrong show. You're reading the wrong book. You're playing the wrong games. If you're like, I need someone who.
But even they are bad now because you're right. Because all the catchphrase for the greater good can be used and manipulated, and you're actually doing some fucked up shit and justifying it by saying for the greater good. Okay, next news story, and I will work on another 40k story.
All right, Rocksteady has ended Suicide Squad's development less than a year after release.
What?
So, has confirmed it will end support.
This is confirmed.
They have confirmed it will end support for Suicide Squad less than 1 year afterwards. So, in a blog posted to the official website, developer has confirmed that the game's upcoming 4th season, expected to be released in the new year, will be its last.
Deathstroke is wow, so surprising.
The Deathstroke was a Deathstroke.
Well, yes, that's funny.
I'm curious what our predictions were before.
What do you mean?
I forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had to predict. We need to write that shit down.
Damn, we need to. Okay, I'll tell you what, Joe. Here's what I'm doing. I'm creating a AJS News predictions document for 2025, and we will never lose track of that. But I think I won because I said they would end after these planned ones. You said it would go to 6, I think. It would go
I
to
said short. It was short.
Oh, you said it was short? Fuck, we need to. Then we'll have to find that out.
We need to do
AJS
that
News predictions.
We had one. We need to find out the one for Star Citizen Squadron.
Okay, so
I forgot.
yeah, we could do a little research.
I'll see.
You want to do a little research on the back end and then fill in this document with current predictions. But at least we have it for 2025.
My longest running prediction is still going at the show when I said that George R.R. Martin will not release Winds of Winter. And I said
just not release it at all?
I said that there was no way that he would release it before HBO finished the show, and I was called a crazy person. And then
What? Whoa. Nobody believed he was going to finish that before the show was over. I didn't believe that. I don't think the majority of fans believed that he was going to finish his novels before the end of the HBO show. His planned date
was way before the HBO show ended.
And you were called crazy? Yeah. Well, whoever called you crazy was a fucking moron.
Looking at you.
Yeah.
You know who you are.
Prove it. Fucking let me see. I didn't say that. I would have never said that because I don't think he's gonna. I think he will finish the Winds. He'll finish the Winds of Winter. Oh, the comment. Yeah, he'll finish Winds of Winter, but then I don't know if he'll finish the final novel. What is it?
I don't think
the Song of or some. I don't know what.
I don't think he finishes the book.
You don't even think he finishes Winds of Winter?
He's gonna give his notes to.
He
Brandon.
did a recent. You heard? What did he say recently?
It was kind of a joke. He's like, "Look, everyone's telling me I'm not gonna finish it,
so maybe
I won't finish it. I'm old and I'm not super healthy." And it's like he's living his best life. He's got a truckload of money and he doesn't have to finish it. Honestly, if he does finish it, everyone's gonna be mad at him. Half the people are gonna be mad at him, and half the people are gonna love it. And so it's like, all he has to do is give it to Brandon Sanderson or someone else, and it's like, you finish it based on my notes. I'll tell you how it ends, and I don't want to deal with it.
Okay, so the current ones you can remember: Suicide Squad DLC content. I'll try to look up what our thing was, and then Star Citizen. We had some
Squadron 42 and 42 release date.
Okay, Squadron 42 versus the
Beyond Good and Evil 2. Which comes first?
Beyond Good and Evil.
Yeah, I think we even said something about Skull and Bones, but I'm not sure.
Okay, well, we got it from the future.
Okay, cool. So the Season 4 is it. The Warner Brothers has acknowledged, almost immediately, that Suicide Squad fell short of expectations.
Shocker.
And then
everyone saw.
I'm gonna look up the player number here.
Yeah,
it's 700 under 50.
People.
Under 50.
Under 50.
Under 50.
Joe, you're not paying attention. It was 90% off recently. The last news story, Alex updated us. It got all the way up to 1,400.
Yeah, and they got tired of that one day.
Yeah.
Now it's back down. Is what I'm thinking.
No,
yeah. November 28th, it went on sale. 2,000 plus people were playing. They lost about a third within 2 days, another third within 2 days, and now we are back. We are racing to the bottom again.
1,029.
Damn it! Why?
Yeah.
Again, all-time peak 13,000 people.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It was probably worth picking up for $3 or whatever it was, just to kind of see how bad it was, and maybe get take a look at Kevin Conroy's performance. But other than that.
At 90% off, I'd get it just for exactly what you said. The
I would
cutscenes.
honestly just go to YouTube cutscenes. Boop, save my money.
Yeah. Yeah.
Save my money.
I may have us check out Deathstroke. But as you can see at the beginning of this
files
news
got
episode,
corrupt and I can't re-download it or something.
Yeah.
It's fucking weird.
At the beginning of this news episode, there was just so much fucking content. So I don't think we have. Do we know when Deathstroke release date?
Yeah, I think in 3 years. You should put it in your calendar.
It comes out. The DLC comes out in 3 years. It's December 10th, so today.
Yeah,
he's
but
available.
Indiana Jones is out.
Yeah.
I'd choose Indiana Jones over it. Sorry.
Yeah, there's a lot of other good
and
video
Path
games.
of Exile 2.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all let me know how it is in the comments, okay? If you made the mistake. And
there hasn't been a spike in player count since he's been released, so I don't think it's going to be,
That's right.
Yeah.
Available December 10th. Well, maybe it releases at noon today, maybe, and then we'll see the. I'll see. I'll see the
wishful
release.
thinking.
Spike. He's going to go up. All 13,000 people coming back to take a look at the final thing.
That was us.
Yeah.
We were in those numbers.
What you got to do is
Never
you get everyone back. We trick them and to get everyone back and to pull a Sony where they're like, oh, people actually like Morbius. We're going to put it back in the movie theaters. And then only 7 people show up and they're like, damn it, fooled again. Fuck you, Internet. Always tricking us.
Next week we'll update you whether there was a bump or not and how big the bump was.
All right, tell me about Cyberpunk.
So Cyberpunk, CD Projekt Red is not done with Cyberpunk after all. They said, hey, this is our last update.
But they said...
We're not going to do it. Yeah, we're going to do it anymore. This is we feel the game is in a great state, blah, blah, blah. Enjoy. Well, apparently they're not done. The team still has some gas in the tank, quote unquote. And what they said is basically, surprise, we have another patch coming for Cyberpunk 2077. The team still has some gas in the tank. Speculation immediately began whether that might be the much requested addition of a new game plus. Unfortunately, some bad news there. A lot of questions about whether the PS5 Pro support and the new game plus are coming to patch 2.2. And unfortunately, the answer is no. We do have some other cool stuff in the oven, and we'll talk about it tomorrow during the stream, and I hope you'll like it too. This was 20 hours ago, so that stream is probably happening right about now. I'll try to look it up and see what's happening. But what we're saying, more free updates for Cyberpunk 2077. That's good. And let's get an update here. CDPR had said that it was done with Cyberpunk 2077, with the studio now in full production on the next Witcher game, which is codenamed Polaris, as well as working on Cyberpunk 2, which is codenamed Orion. Remember these. And an unknown game, which they do love their codenames, Hadar. So I'm pleased to announce that several weeks ago, Polaris, which one was that, Joe?
Polaris, that one was not the Witcher one. That
is the Witcher one.
Yeah,
Damn it.
you weren't listening to me.
It's Polaris, Alaris,
anyone listening to me?
Hubris.
Polaris,
Hadar.
I said there would be a test
Polaris.
on this, Joe. Move to full-scale production. So that means, obviously, Witcher 4 is in full-scale production. All of our projects, that's the one that's most far along. We're starting the most intensive phase of development. I wish to thank the team for its efforts, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed for further progress. So that's where they're at on that. More updates for for Cyberpunk 2077. They're working on Cyberpunk 2. They have The Witcher 4, in deep in production, and then there's a mystery game called Hadar, or codename Hadar. Which, I don't know, hopefully I would love it if it would be a brand new IP. I want a brand new IP.
For your phone.
Shut up. No.
No?
No.
Okay.
But CD Projekt Red does have to make some
Not
money.
you.
And they do have mobile
They
games.
do have mobile games, so
Yeah.
it's a distinct possibility,
They
unfortunately.
had that Witcher one, right? Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then next news story is Randy Pitchford could not
miss my
fucking
man,
hold
Randy.
his tongue. Well, he's back, Joe, and he let slip that the new Borderlands 4 trailer is going to debut at the Game Awards. It was supposed to be a surprise, so that everybody would be like, whoa, the Game Awards has something cool. But he couldn't help himself.
Magicians
so.
always have to do their own reveals, Joe.
Yeah. Pitchford wrote, cooking up a new Borderlands 4 trailer, and it is badass as fuck. Latest render is knocking me out. I'm not supposed to talk about it, but I don't give a fuck. I'm freaking out, yo. I can't wait to release this fucking trailer, he then later added, also confirming to one fan that who asked if he was trying to edge. And then he replied, yes.
Randy definitely knows what that means, too. Because
You heard it here first, Borderland fans. Randy Pitchford is edging you. Okay. Yeah. So then we're getting a new trailer for Borderlands 4. I'm hoping that we see gameplay. But I think it's probably just going to be a bunch of, cinematics, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, they've done a lot of damage to the brand where I'm like, I don't care. So
What do you mean? You didn't like the twins?
The Borderlands 3 wasn't very good. The Borderlands movie is one of the worst things I had to do this year.
Yeah.
And
so they
it's
are
like,
excited to get people to forget about them.
yeah,
Fucking
and so it's like
twins.
unless they can figure out a way to have a compelling bad guy that I care about,
Yeah.
I don't want to see this trailer.
Yep, it's hard to live up to Handsome Jack when you make some really good bad guys. It's like Voss in Far Cry. It's hard to live up to them, and so we'll see if they could do it again. And if you can't live up to the bad guy, at least make your current characters interesting and, have further their storylines. And Borderlands 3 kind of failed that as well. So
Maybe this will be the movie tie-on where we get Kevin Hart in and we get all
Oh,
these
God.
characters. That would be so fun.
That's such a fucking terrible movie.
All right, well, bring on the Game Awards. That will be Thursday at like 6:30, something like that. And we will be covering it. So hopefully that's not the biggest announcement at the Game Awards because Borderlands 4, I can't say I'm super excited for.
Wishful thinking,
Sorry.
as everyone says. We're going to get Bloodborne 2.
That's always the
Wow. That would be cool.
I don't think we'll get Bloodborne, but I do think we'll get Lies of P DLC announcement, which is it's not quite as good, but it's really good. So that would be excellent.
Yeah, I'd love to see y'all play through that.
OJ actually beat the game. It's
Wait for my
crazy. So
Did you finish Bloodborne?
I can't see what happened was like I was pretty far along.
So
but
Lies of
Alex
P.
is like, "Hey, let me borrow the game." I was like, "Yeah, man, here you go."
10 years later, I borrowed 'cause
Physical copy.
Yeah,
there
I borrowed
you go.
the physical
See, I
copy.
can't-
Finally
I
an
can't.
I gave it back to you.
No, you didn't.
I didn't.
No.
All right. Well, I'm probably not going to give it back to you. You don't deserve
Yeah.
that game. He can't even get past
See?
the first.
He's
bad
like-
guy.
I can't. What?
He's
I
like-
got past it.
He like the very first dude, and he's just like, "Oh, hello," and just dies.
I was trying to be friendly.
Yeah.
Nobody's friendly in that universe.
He's like Sam Jones
Yeah.
with when we went to Sam. Sam borrowed my copy of NFL 2K8, All Pro NFL 2K8,
Yeah.
and then I talked to Joe later on. He said, "Yeah, he borrowed my copy of NFL 2K8 too." Talked to Devin. He borrowed his copy of NFL 2K8.
What is one man
we go to
needs so many
Sam's house.
copies?
We go to Sam's house.
has them all.
When I open it, there's 3 copies of the game, and then I think there was 4 or something. It was the most hilarious moment. Like what? And we were looking at what is he doing? I think he has a problem or something.
But I waited almost a decade to borrow it from you.
Yeah.
So then you had plenty of time.
No.
You had plenty of
I
time.
did.
You could finish Elden Ring. You could finish any of those other games that.
I
were-
need your build, man. I can't.
Yeah.
I'm doing terrible.
Your stature's not my problem.
Sam Jones.
All right. Anything else?
If anybody has a copy of NFL All Pro 2K,
Man, I'd be down to
please
play
send
that.
it to Sam
Shit's
Jones.
fun.
All right. Check those links down below. Get yourself an extra wallet. Holidays are coming up to 50% off right now.
Order now, you get it in time.
You absolutely get it in time. Incredible warranty, customer service, returns.
Great,
all the like.
great product, definitely. And upcoming is Henry Cavill's Eisenhorn series, starring
Confirmed.
The
OJ confirmed.
confirmed starring. One possible avenue they could go is the Night Lords, which is a
I'll be a
chaos type legion.
I could be a squire.
kind of like vampires
Be a blank.
and stuff.
I'll be a
and then
squire. I'll help him out.
Flay people and flesh everywhere. It's great, but they're probably not going to do that one either.
Yeah.
Okay,
Rogue Trader? What
We'll
name
see
was it?
you on the next episode 2
Yes.
of
Yes.
2. All right, bye guys, and we'll see you on the next Angry Joe Show.